Hello everybody and welcome to Food Wars Shokugeki no Soma, episode 7 of season 5 anime review. In this episode, I think the big takeaway is we learned what Asahi's super cooking power is. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, does it? It's just stupid. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but I probably will because it is so dumb. Because I don't want to be harsh, but it doesn't make sense. You touch the knife and you instantly get all the skills that people have spent literal years building up. All you had to do was say like, oh, it's because he watched them. Here's a good way of doing it, right? He's got a perfect memory, you can say, and when he watches them do something, he immediately learns it like that. It's still unbelievable, but it's more believable than just he gets the power through the knife, you know? Not good. Other stuff happened this week as well, though. So let's get into the episode, see exactly how everything went down. Let's do this. The episode begins with the remainder of the Soma versus Sarge match. His cake has a pattern on it. The bark pattern is made with that little wooden spoon. He cut it in half, or split it in half, and he made it look all nice and everything. Good stuff there. Joichiro is watching. He's at the venue too. He met with Grandpa Nakari, Senzai, the Grandpa Nakari, and they're watching. And Joichiro's like, "Yeah, Soma doesn't stand a chance against Noir under normal circumstances." And I was like, "What the hell does that mean?" I mean, yes, these aren't normal circumstances. In fact, they're more heavily favoured towards Noir. What do you want about Joichiro? Thankfully, he explains it briefly. Goes through how he made his dish, like he made it all sweet without using any sugar, which very impressive. I'm not going to do. I'm just going to put sugar on is what I'm going to do. Sarge is annoyed because they're saying that they're even. They're like, how? I am better than him. How have we got even dishes and all that? The fireworks made sparklers, which covers it in cream. Coffee crumble, that's it. And then it makes his even better. Sarge still doesn't get how he was able to do this. Soma got these skills from working at the diner. Basically, then we see how this all happened. Joichiro kept asking him to do the impossible, and Soma was just going to have to do it because he's not going to complain. That's how he got all these skills, I guess. Because diners, unlike like fancy posh restaurants, diners have got to be simple, but not so simple that people get bored of you. And that's how they did it. And they're the best diner around. It turns out that was quite good when they said that. I was a fan. She has a bite, and then we see she's on a Christmas sleigh ride with Asahi, confirming that, hey, she has a thing for Asahi. But then it's not Asahi, it's the coffee crumble fairy. Just had to check my notes there to make sure that was correct. Yes, the coffee crumble fairy. Do I need to say more about that? Yeah, but yeah, then Soma wins. So Soma wins with the power of diner powers. I can't believe we're still at the point where Soma's having to be like, it's because I work at a diner that I'm so good, you know? I feel like that should just be sort of an accepted thing now. Like, I guess people haven't done their homework, is all I'm going to say on that. But hey, Soma won. Was that ever really in any doubt? Tsukasa gets a text telling him he's up next, but he is not the only one. The other person is Asahi. So the next round is the other one. Asahi versus Tsukasa. And again, never really in doubt who was going to win this, was it? But I think the manner of which he won it was the surprising bit. Sarge tells Soma that the reason he cannot beat Asahi is because it's something in his knife. And that's pretty weird. Asahi then goes to the rest of Noir and says, I got a troublesome opponent up next, I need y'all to help me. And they say, no, we're not going to help you, why would we do that? We don't like you really. And then he's like, well then, guess I got no choice, as he clicks his knuckles, preparing to I assume he just beat the crap out of him. Like, is what I'm assuming. We don't really see what he did. I mean, we saw how they ended up. Don't see exactly how they ended up like that. So I'm just going to assume that he just had a bare knuckle brawl with them and KO'd them all. Is what the assumption I'm going to make. Tsukasa versus Asahi is up next. They do a good job making it like the dark versus the light in this one, like the black and white themes of, you know, the two of them. Asahi basically says, if I win, can I have your greater? And Tsukasa's like, yeah, sure. Because Tsukasa doesn't think he's going to lose, basically. And if Asahi loses, then Tsukasa can have something as well. Like, he He doesn't really specify because, I mean, we all kind of knew that Tsukasa was going to lose here. Tsukasa's purpose here was basically just again to make Asahi look really strong, like Joichiro did earlier, which, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm okay with that, but whatever, it is what it is. Soma doesn't know who he wants to win, because obviously he wants Tsukasa to win because friends, right? But he wants to beat Asahi himself, so he's torn. And then out of nowhere, Ishiki and Kuga show up and are also in the crowd watching. What's with these characters just randomly appearing? Like, okay, I'm okay with it, but why? You know? Doesn't make too much sense. They probably did say, but I missed it. It's not too important. And now Tsukasa does his cooking, and instead of before when he was just doing the dish to perfection, now he is leaving a part of himself in the dish. He has evolved since his loss in the grand battle thing in season 4. So he's even better now. So yeah, Asahi definitely doesn't stand a chance, does he? As it turns out, yes, Asahi does stand a chance, because he has got a million knives, and also the bloodsucker, and also a bunch of other stuff. So we then see, the other Noir members are KO'd. So their weapons, we'll go with weapons, cooking weapons, got taken from them by Asahi. But why though? Surely, he doesn't have the skills necessary to use all them. Well, then he's got the chainsaw too from Sarge, who voluntarily gave it up. So then we learn about his ability, cross knives. And basically, he can, like I said it earlier, by just touching a thing, he gets all the skills that person had. Sort of like Minisaka, but way more dumb. And because obviously he's got 2 hands, this is science right here, he can use one in each hand. So you can use, say, Joichiro's knife in this one and be like, this side is Joichiro, and then this side is the Sarge chainsaw. And using that, he can make impossible combinations, which I like the making impossible combinations bit. I just don't like how his ability is just from touching the knives, you know? I think perfect memory would have worked better, and then he just instantly remembers it perfectly. That's still dumb, but I think that's less dumb, personally. That's just me. As I said, it's called Cross Knives, and it basically makes him an indomitable... I can't say that word. A very hard foe to beat. That was quite a funny flub right there. Leave that in. They both finish at roughly the same time. Asahi gives his up first, which is obviously, it's good. And then Tsukasa gives his, which is also good. They go over how they made them and everything. I'm not going to go over that because I don't know dick about food, basically. However, even though Tsukasa's is really good, they can't forget Asahi's dish. It's stuck with them more. His dish could only have come together because of the cross knives. It's impossible otherwise. So, what is it they say? They have a good line here. It's like, Tsukasa's dish was perfect, but Asahi has surpassed perfection itself. I'm like, okay, that's a good line. How impossible they've made him to beat. Asahi wins and everything and gets the cheese grater or whatever it is. So now he's got now he can use anything Tsukasa can do as well. So he's even stronger now. And then Soma, then he goes and he's in his thing, and then Soma shows up to give Tsukasa some "I'm sorry you lost" tea, and he's like, Soma, you have to win for all of us that have fallen before. And I'm like, how the hell's Soma gonna win? Soma's already lost once. How is Soma gonna manage to defeat this guy? That's the thing I don't understand, is how is Soma gonna be able to win? I'm pretty sure he's gonna win because he's the main character. But the question is, how is he gonna win? Where does Erina come into play? Is she going to just show up one day? I say one day, soon, because I just forgot about her completely this episode. And then they mentioned her once. They were like, he's even better than the God Tongue. So, I don't know how they're going to do that. How they going to work all these combustible elements into play. But hey, that was the end of the episode. Or was it? Post-credits scene out of nowhere. So Takumi is up next for his match. His matches are just a team battle, arbitrarily, where you can just pick people to be on your team. They don't really explain why. It's just, I guess, to diversify the thing. I get fine, whatever. So Takumi obviously picked his brother Isumi as his tag team partner, I assume. But however, not good. So Isumi can't get in because he went to a wrong location because someone stuck a bit of paper over the no trespassing signs, basically saying, hey, the match is this way, and it wasn't this way. So he's being accosted by some guards, I assume, because he's in a restricted area because He thought he was going to the match, but he's not. So I assume someone sabotaged Takumi here, and Takumi is not going to win because of that. Takumi is definitely, I think, going to lose. Unless he can just win by himself, or he gets a replacement friend. Like, maybe it's like, oh, Isumi's not here, but Mimisaka could be there, and he's like, oh, I can mimic him perfectly. And it's like, okay. Maybe. I don't know. Curious to see how Takumi gets out of this one, or if he does it all. Like, I'm sort of worried that now that Megumi and Takumi are just going to be just outed first go, just get out of here, which would suck because, you know, we haven't actually seen them do much. Like, they've all passed, but we haven't seen how they've passed. That kind of sucks because I like them. I think they're kind of cool. But hey, yeah, now that was the real end of the episode. So my favourite part, it was hard to pick. Like, as I said, I didn't like Asahi's ability at all. I thought it was stupid. So instead, I went for something else that made Asahi seem pretty dangerous. Just him beating the crap out of all the Noir members, you know? Like, we don't see him do it, yes, but, like, it's implied, like, he must have just punched them a lot. And that's just to stole their weapons, which is kind of cruel and harsh and very underworldy. Sort of like that, make him seem very dangerous. But yeah, other than that, you can tell I'm struggling to come up with my favourite parts for this show. But hey, what can you do? Anyway, that was the end of the episode. I think I enjoyed it. I think I'm enjoying it despite the dumbness, is how I'll say it. Like, I'm glad this is the last season, in a way, because don't know how much more of this I could put up with, but for what it is, we got, what, less than half to go? I could put up with that for that much, and I am curious to see how things will play out. Like, how are they going to defeat Asahi? When's Erina going to come into play? Will Megumi and Takumi actually be able to progress? Probably not. But yeah, I am enjoying it, I think, despite that. I think I might be trying to convince myself I'm enjoying it more than I am, but I'm not completely hating it, so that's good at least. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. Thank you very much. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye guys.